episode of Healthy Mind, Healthy Life. I'm your host Rafiq, and today we are diving into a story of resilience, transformation, and overcoming the odds. So imagine being at your lowest point, struggling with the health issues, battling weight again, and facing diagnosis that shakes your world. Now imagine turning that all round, reclaiming your health, and emerging stronger than ever. That's exactly what today's guest we have, Darren Williams, has done. So, welcome to the show, Darren.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Lovely, lovely. So, Darren, before we start, I'll quickly love to introduce you to all of our listeners. Dear listeners, Darren is an accomplished sales, marketing, and coaching professional with over 20 years of experience. So he's also trained in mental health and has helped countless individuals across various professions unlock their potential. But his uh, personal journey is just as inspiring. After reaching 360 pounds and being diagnosed with diabetes, he took steps to transform his life. So, through discipline, healthy choices, and unwavering determination, Darren lost 100 pounds and is no longer diabetic. That's amazing. Wow. So, today he feels better than ever and is here to share his powerful journey with us.
Yes.
So, get ready. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, get ready for an episode that is filled with inspiration, actionable insights, and proof that change is very much possible, no matter where you start. So, with this, welcome to the show again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Lovely, lovely. So, Darren, your story is incredible. I mean, if you can take us back to that moment when you were diagnosed with the diabetes.
Yeah, that was over a year ago. So last year around Cinco de Mayo, I mean, for years I had struggled with weight, but I did not know just really how out of control it had gotten. And
Okay.
when I got on that scale, it blew my mind. So I had to do something. So I had to, especially because when I got on that scale, it said 350 pounds. So I've never been let alone 300 pounds before. So let alone be 350. And
Mm.
something had to change. I had to not only change my mindset, but I also had to change what I ate and how I felt about myself. Those combination of things helped me to put me in the right space to be able to
Mm.
say, you know what, I'm going to take back and take charge of how I feel and what's going on in my life. So in February of last year, uh, my wife, my awesome wife, happy wife, happy life. So
Yeah.
she completes me big time. She found this one doctor who I could relate to.
Mm.
Some doctors, they talk the talk and they don't bring to the table what that one specific patient needs to be able to correspond with. So she searched all over the place for this guy, and he's a Russian gentleman, and he's formerly from New York, and so am I. So we hit it off, and when I went to see him, he took uh, labs of everything. I did a full workup. So the full workup lasted 2 days. So it's 2 days, 3 hours, per day. So it was a total of 6 hours altogether with him and his staff, and they helped tailor, and be able they took out all the guesswork, what was going on, because everything was out of control.
Mm.
So it was eye-opening, and when he told me, because a couple of days later, I got the results back, he told me, he said, "I got good news and bad news for you." I said, "Well, give me the bad news." And because that's how I am. I always want to, okay, be able to go through the bad news and be able to handle it. So he told me, he said, "Well, I just want to let you know you're diabetic," and it hit me hard. So I was I was in the slump for about 3 weeks. I was kind of beating up on myself, but prior to that, I had already started losing weight. So, and by the time I got everything together, and he said, "Oh, he said, I see when you first started losing weight, which was in before COVID, I think it was 2019. I
Mm.
lost 60 pounds that time, but due to COVID, not eating right, I gained all that back and then some. So he said, well, that up and down with the weight is no good. He said it's actually detrimental to your heart. Is you losing weight, gaining, losing, gaining, losing. That's no good. So I said, okay. He said, well,
Mm.
he recommended some tablets and things like that. And me, I'm not really a tablet person. I don't like medication. I'd rather do it all natural. And I've done it all natural. So by the time he had told me that, I said, okay, let me step up what this the and critique all the things I was already had started on that path. So
Mhm.
by the time June came around, he said, okay, he said, let's test you out and see exactly where you are. And I showed him a picture of all the actual weight that I had lost, a pair of pants that I was wearing last Cinco de Mayo. And those were 55 waist. Um, right now I'm a 46 waist. So I've lost like 115 pounds, and he couldn't believe it. So he thought he actually thought I photoshopped it. So he's like, "Oh," he said, "Let me give you a hug." I said, "Okay, all right." I've never heard a doctor say, "Let me give you a hug." So he gave me a hug, and he took a measuring tape. He went around my stomach because he didn't believe me, and he said, "What size are those pants in the picture?" I said, "Those are 55." He said, "Wow." He said, "You're 46 now." He said, "So," he said, "I also got good news for you. You're no longer diabetic." I was like, "Praise God." So I've been continuing that journey. So it's been long and arduous, but it's worth it. Health is your new wealth.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's really, really great information, I have to say. Like, and a kind of powerful wake up call. Like, so many people feel stuck, but your story proves the transformation is definitely possible. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So, like, I mean, you are a resilience expert and you have clearly lived what you teach. So, how did you shift your mindset to not only lose weight but also change your entire approach to the life?
Well, it stems back from an early age. Like, in my book, Overcoming and Beating the Odds, turning each of life lessons into blessings. It starts from early on in my childhood. I come from a strong background with my mom and my dad. My dad was a no nonsense kind of guy, and you really couldn't complain to him because he wasn't trying to hear that. And but my mom was strong in her own right too, and she instilled a lot of those principles in me, determination, fortitude, never say never, look for the positive in it and everything, because whatever there's a solution, you can fall into it. You can go for it, and you be surprised. A lot of times, people stop themselves before actually going and doing something, trying something new. But the goal is to do it, and as you do it, you you shift your mind shifts, and that's what happened with me because when I was going back, I was 15 and my mom put me out. So, and so from 15 to 18, basically I raised myself, living in the streets. So you had to be able to understand, okay, nobody's coming to save you. And that's in my book. That's in chapter 3 of my book. Um, And I've always had that in the back of my mindset, meaning that if it's to be, it's up to me. And a lot of people need to adapt that principle. And when you adapt that principle, you start seeing how you can find different ways. You know, my mentor always talks about fear and faith can't exist in the same heart. You can have faith, and but you have to back it up with action. Those two things are powerful. I start out my morning, early morning, with a daily devotional. I get one with my Lord, my Creator, and you know that's a reset. And sometimes with all the noise that's going on in today's society, we're so drowned by it. I don't look at news, and I mean, news is gonna follow you. It's gonna come to you either way, whether it's a relative or what have you. But I choose to protect my brain from a lot of the negativity that's on the internet, that's on national television and some of the media. But you have to be able to do those things so that you can persevere, so you can overcome and achieve great things. Even they might seem small over a long period of time, something small, 1% growing every day over 30 days is huge, but we take that for granted.
Sure. So, and I mean, that's really lovely. So, would you advise to someone who feels overwhelmed and doesn't know where to start?
It's so important to have that support group, whether it's friends, family, relatives. Sometimes people don't have any of that. You can get support groups from different church and organizations. Um, and also, I find like a reset for me is, and to help me focus, I'll go for a long walk.
Well,
Prior to getting injured in New York, I was able to do, I was doing 2 miles a day. So now I don't really run as much as possible, but I do work out 2 to 3 times a week to burn off that energy, to burn off, and sweat. Because working out, it's been therapeutic for me, and it's been therapeutic for a lot of people. It's been therapeutic for my wife as well. And yeah, we need to get back to that.
got it. So, like, um, okay, I mean, it's a really refreshing perspective. So, healthy habits that changed everything. So, what were some of the key changes that you made on your diet and the lifestyle that helped you turn things around?
Mm, okay. I took this very seriously. I'm very methodical when it comes to
Hmm.
dissecting different challenges or different ways of thinking. One of which is I had to reset what I did when I went to food shopping. So, like I said, I just went food shopping today. And
Okay.
basically, I look at all the ingredients in all the items that I'm putting in that cart, because those are the things that I'm going to be putting in my body. I'm going to be putting in my wife's body, and your body is your first temple, and you
Yeah.
have to respect it and you have to honor it. So honoring it in a way where your body can see the results is amazing. So basically, I changed what I put on the grocery list. I changed how I cooked, how I ate. I eat 10 times much more healthier now. I use olive oil, and in some cases, I'll just use regular water. And when it comes to different meals, and I read relatively, I cook 6 days a week. So, and my wife, she loves the meals that I prepare. I do a small portion of of protein, starch.
Mhm.
I try to stay away from a lot of the carbs. Some people focus on carbs. I don't really focus on carbs. I focus on calories. And I work from a calorie deficit. So doing that in addition to there was a drink that my mom had always talked about, and I'm not sure if you probably might be aware of it too. It was called apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, oh my God, as nasty as nasty could be. But it works. And for years, my mom would say, "Oh yeah, baby, you gotta try that." I'm like, okay. And I tried a couple times. Like, man, this is oh my God.
Trust me, I was also in this about to believe that how come this liquid will change everything?
Yes.
And it sounds like I'm just drinking the apple, not the apple I'm having it. So, but it works
Yes.
with warm water. It's really works.
Yes. Yes. But in addition, like I said, I took it another step further.
Huh?
I do intermittent fasting also,
Yeah.
3 to 4 days a week. So that the exercise, the calorie deficit, and eating healthier, I eat a lot more vegetables than I do protein now. And I stay away from the starches, so no rice, no bread. I'm kind of off bread, and you know, it's a game changer. It's like I said, it's just that one thing that you do that can change your whole premise of your life, and I love how I feel. I got a lot more energy, and I've also, have mentored a few other people to do the same thing with their weight
Mhm.
loss. So it's been rewarding.
Mm, understood. Wow. And I mean, it's a really refreshing perspective. Like small intentional changes can lead to the massive results over time. So, also, like your book, Overcoming and Beating the Odds, is all about turning life's challenges into the opportunities. So, what do you hope readers take away from your journey?
I hope that they know that they are not alone, that someone out there cares about them. So that's why I make it my mission to let people know if I did it, they can do it. And to give hope, to inspire, and also to let people know that not to suffer in silence. A lot of people, especially during COVID, we kind of got away from that. Even our youth, uh, after COVID, they suffered in silence. That's why mental health is on the rise right now, and it's always had its ugly head, but now it permeates because we have gotten away from caring about one another and also finding out, just asking someone, "Are you okay?" I talked to a lady last week, and she was going through some things. Her husband's really sick and everything, and I asked her, I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Oh, I'm okay." And that didn't sit well with my spirit. So I said, "What's going on?" And she kind of told me, and I said, "Well, listen, I'll add him to my prayer list." And I mean, she started crying and everything. So y- we got to care about one another. We got to get back to that.
Got it. Understood. And like, if you could also share one powerful message with someone who's struggling right now, what would it be?
If they're struggling,
Uh-huh.
that this too shall come to pass. And in the book I read, it says that it came and it didn't it didn't stay. So as long as you have faith in yourself, have faith in the
Mm,
that you want things to change, they will change. And getting around positive people are so important. I can't hone in on this message more because you have to protect your brain. You have to protect your heart from negative influences, outside influences, because a lot of times people don't really understand that you're going through something. And they might say something out of context, not realizing that that might send you over the edge. And I want to give them the notice that, listen, we all have been there, and this too shall come to pass. And don't focus on where you are. Focus on where you want to go in life. Focus on what you want to accomplish, who you can help, and be a blessing. I always say, turning each of life lessons into blessings, because that's what it's all about. And your show is amazing, and I hope to be a blessing to all the folks, all the listeners, listening to this and getting and reading the book, or even finding out more on how to take charge of your life, take charge of your health, because without that, you will be struggling for a long time. And we've done enough of struggling, but we need
Mm.
to get back to coasting and doing better and feeling better about things and about
Right.
ourselves.
Wow, lovely, lovely. That's really great, and it's kind of inspiring. The kind of inspiration people need. Your journey shows that we all have the power to rewrite our own stories. So it's incredible conversation, and Darren, your story from overcoming the challenges, regaining your health, and inspiring others is nothing short of amazing. So, for the listeners, if Darren's story resonated with you, take it as a sign that change is possible. No matter where you are right now, you have the power to control your life, your health, your mindset. So, uh, remember that every setback is just a setup for a comeback. So keep pushing forward and never underestimate your own strength. So if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review. And let's continue this conversation and inspire each other to live a healthier and more fulfilled lives. So thank you so much.